What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8 Papa Zuma November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. Thanks for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. It is Sunday. Means it's time for a little bit of shenanigans. And shenanigans we will talk about just as soon as we thank these guys. Because of these guys right here, I'm currently out on what I'm calling the Patreon Appreciation Tour. And no, I'm not going and visiting every single Patreon. Don't even think that. But I am out doing a few things for some Patreons. And, I'm having a lot of fun. So thank you guys very much. And if don't think that if one Patreon got to see me or something like that, that's the end of it after this trip, because I have several of these Patreon trips scheduled coming up for the upcoming year. So don't think you got left out. But anyway, and for the YouTube channel members, thank you guys very much. You guys are a big part of my support now and are helping me tremendously in my big goal, and that is to be full-time YouTube. And Mr. Kilo Delta 9 Uniform Delta Victor, with his big donation last Wednesday, moves up to second place. Everybody else that was ahead of him moves down one. And Terry's still the top dog. He's still staying up there. I guess since he can't be the top dog at Wallback, he's got to be the top dog at somewhere. So, what's going on, Dan?
He was at Wallback today, a matter of fact. Sounded good out there. He was having a good time. Not a lot, man.
What band was he on? 40?
All of them.
All of them? He was on 20?
I think he went to 20. I didn't get him on 20 because I started doing some other stuff, but I know he was on 40. I'd have to look.
I'll tell you,
I got him on 17. I know that.
I'd love to know how he found a spot on 20 meters, because I know when I was out earlier, and as far as this whole weekend, 20 meters is just wall to wall to wall. I did,
He said not.
No, okay. I got a couple of DX stations while I was scrolling through looking for a spot. But other than that, I've stayed off 20. I have been tearing up some 17 meters down here. And a lot of people have been happy about that. They seem to like the way I sound on 17 meters. But
I like the way you sound on 17 meters, boy.
You sure got some pretty 17 meter lips. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Bobby Evans? Good evening, buddy.
I'll tell you what, but you know what? What's even more funny is people appreciate when I go to 40 meters too, because the people down in Georgia who never gets to hunt Florida, because Florida's always on 20 meters, they absolutely love it when I go to 40 meters down here. And
every time a park in Florida goes to 40 meters, I have a little can of confetti that I open. So nice. It is so nice. The Breakfast Club was on 40 meters. Was it this morning or last weekend? Yeah. I can't remember, but I got them, and then that was cool. So
yeah, well, I mean, really early morning like they do, or really late evening like we did the other night, 40 meters worked pretty good. It did not, however, for me last night. I did 40, 60, and 80, and I got about half of what I normally would on a late shift. So I wasn't pleased with it. I did go to 20. After all those bands, I went to 20 and still made a few contacts on 20, which is funny.
More west, I guess.
Yeah.
20 is pretty good at night. I say night, Eastern time, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You'll get West Coast really good.
So.
But you can't get what you normally would get on 20, like up in New York. That's just totally dead that time of night. But going west is great.
Yeah. But yeah, I have to admit, 17's treated me pretty good here, for it to be contest weekend. Starting tomorrow with the contest being over, I'll be tearing up 20. And a lot more people will be able to get me a whole lot easier. But, I'll probably still run some 17 because they seem to like it,
Yeah.
And you know me, I kind of like making contests. See, Chris is probably sweating an Alpha Echo 4 X-ray Oscar. He's not getting me all the times he needs to, but I've kind of allowed for a little void for while I'm gone in the contact. So, you know, don't worry, Chris. I've got a plan for you. You keep hunting and we'll get you there.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it's so I get so excited when I see Florida on 40 meters. I like run to the shack. It's like, oh yeah, Florida. Same thing with Georgia, man. Somebody got on Georgia this morning. They went straight to 20. It was a park I already had, so I wasn't really too mad about it. But they went straight to 20 meters at 7:30 in the morning. They said quick activation. It'll be quicker on 40. Just saying.
I have already added another kilo to my repertoire since I got here.
No.
Another Foxtrot Lima kilo.
Oh, is that the one that took you about a year and a half to get?
Yeah. Took me a year and a half to get that sucker. Sure did. One trip last year and then one time this year.
That's right.
I could have got it last year if I'd have paid attention to how far it was. I literally needed 5 contacts when I showed up here.
I'm going to do that next summer when I go up to New Hampshire. Because there's some parks up there that I got like 300-400 contacts at. And I've been working on this kilo for 2 years.
Yeah. Speaking of working on something for 2 years, I feel like PP Man probably called me for 2 years today. I heard somebody way down in there. I mean, way down in there. QRP, and he had that little whine in his voice. So I was like, QRP station, and I'm lowering my ear way down to the radio. He says his call sign, and I hear it, and I was like, QRP, turn up your power. I can't hear you. Turn up your power. He starts going off as normal, and you know he got his 1-1, and he tried to say something else, which I didn't hear, but he got in the log today. So
yeah, that's hilarious. He was using his if he was in a park, he was using his little Faraday cloth blanket on the MFJ antenna.
You know, he
posted a picture of it in our Discord.
He may have if he was in a park. Hopefully, he got both my parks and both operators, because you know that's pretty handy for hunters to hunt. You know, I think they kind of like that when it's 2 parks and 2 operators. That's quite an accomplishment. It wasn't as good as the other night, you know, when we had 5 operators going, but you know that was part of the Patreon tour. You know, here's the thing. I didn't even tell people that I have met up with already that I was meeting up with them until the last minute, and just gave them options to come meet up with me. So it's that kind of surprise. I did get Dan and matter of fact, I went back and looked, and Robbie did add a second comment, but his first comment was what I said. He said, because on one of the daily updates, I was like, yeah, I'm out on a Patreon appreciation tour. And he said, I don't get Patreon appreciation. And I just commented, you don't. and then after he found out that he was invited to the little meetup the other night, he's like, Patreon appreciation, woohoo!
The best thing ever.
But yeah, I did get Dan and Eddie and Robbie knocked out for a personal visit. You know, Eddie got some special love from the king and everything, and
you can't say personal visit and special love, because that just sounds like it's a little more than an appreciation tour.
Well, you know, maybe it was a little more than an appreciation tour. That video got shared around the campsite last night.
That is true.
So, looky there, it was Terry. He's coming for you. He's going for that number 1 spot. He's like, oh, well, I'm just in second. What's this, Terry?
Terry said he got a rock for appreciation.
Terry, you're actually part of this appreciation tour, because you're appreciating me being gone so you can go out and activate some parks and try to catch up.
Got a point.
You know, he went out there and extended his lead on the Elk River yesterday. And
worked a while back, you know.
then today he was trying to go after that wall back again. So yeah, I'm sure Terry's appreciating it, and Reed is appreciating because every time I come to Florida, Reed will invade my parks.
Yeah, he is out there. And he says he had some of the king's meat.
That's right, buddy. Yeah. Well, he was helping me brew up the peanut butter for Dan.
That's right.
Thank you very much for the super chat, Eddie and Steven.
No, we had a lot of fun. A little short activation, 300 and change contacts. So
yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. A lot of fun, a lot of goofing off, and we definitely had some fun.
We ran a tuner into a tuner to get on 80 meters.
Yes. When you have ran a tuner through another tuner to get to a band, that means you have reached king level dedication.
That's right.
To boat. Oh, so here's the thing. My external tuner will tune in anything I want, and it will tune it as low as I want if I want to sit there and play with it all the time. But I like to get it down to about, a little under 3-1, and then I'll touch up my internal tuner and just knock it the rest of the way down. So Dan has an 891, and he don't have an internal tuner. So when I got it down to 2.8. Said, there you go. I said, just touch it up. And then I was like, oh, yeah, you don't. So we run my tuner into his tuner, and then he touched it up with his tuner because his tuner wouldn't tune it. But it would
up dead flat. Which is funny. I got home and I did a little bit of tinkering. And I mounted my 9-to-1 to the bottom of the antenna just in case I ever need it. Got it wired up. So all I have to do is move that one wire and done. So I can use the 9-to-1 real quick if I have to. With the 9-to-1, I can tune it 80 down to like 1.2-to-1. I can tune 160 with nothing additional with that 9-to-1. I get by 1.7-to-1, 1.8-to-1 out of it with no additional wire on top of it. That's pretty stunning. I doubt. I mean, that's really compromised. I doubt it will talk very far, but pretty cool.
I don't doubt it'll talk very far because I've tuned my straight Eagle 1 with no 9-to-1, no extra wire to 160, and I've got some decent contacts.
Which is what I don't get. Let me get it over here. I think I got my other one. Yes, I do. All right. So I recently was trying another tuner. So I got the LDG 200 Pro now, the one with the bar graphs on it, right? And that apparently won't tune 80 meters on my Eagle 1 with no 9-to-1, just straight Eagle 1. This will tune 80 meters fine. Well, I mean, no problem whatsoever. Same company. The only difference is this is the 100-watt model versus the 200-watt model. It's really weird. I don't understand why the other one won't tune 80, but this one will. So.
See, I think that might be why mine is sitting on the shelf at the house, is because mine would not tune 80 meters.
That's so weird. I don't know.
I think it was 80 as one of the bands, and I'm pretty sure it was 80 that it would not tune.
Now I know other people with this exact same tuner that says it will not tune 80 on their Eagle 1. Maybe I just have the magic sauce in this tuner, or maybe something during the manufacturing process is a bit different between their tuner and mine.
Mm-hmm.
No idea, but I don't have that problem now because it's so fast for me to switch to the 9-to-1 if I want to. Yeah, I can tune it with probably my internal tuner on the Icon now.
See, and now you're going to have all the resident guys shouting, "Oh, you're compromising your antenna. Oh. You're not getting out good on 80 meters if you're doing that."
I'll be the first one to sit here and tell you guys, if you use one of these or use any kind of tuner, you're already compromised.
This is correct. That is.
I mean, I mean, come on. But if you're going to run QRP or something like that, run a resonant antenna. But if you want versatility, you're going to have to put up with a little bit of compromise to go do. I mean, if you want that versatility, you're going to have to put up with compromise.
But I'm also going to tell you that every single night that I'm in West Virginia, my last activation, I run 80 meters and I run it through a tuner. and I get all the way out to Texas. I get down to Florida. I get distance out of 80 meters, and the local guys, I'm 40 over.
Yeah.
So,
and when I say compromise, I mean if you're putting say 100 watts out of your radio through your tuner, that's not really good on say 160. If you got to tune the crap out of it, and you're already compromised because you only got a 30-something foot wire, and you're trying to get 160 out of it, you're maybe getting half of that power out of your wire. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, Terry, I'll put pictures in Discord after the chat of what I did in case anybody's curious. That's a good reason to join our Discord. But yeah, I got it. So you can just move the wire from the built-on SO239 on the Eagle One. You just take that and you move it over to the unknown, move your coax, and you're done. You don't got to do anything else.
Yes, and speaking of Discord, for those of you that likes to chase atnos and you don't want to sit there and wonder if it's a new park or whatever every time, or just you don't want to sit and watch the spotting page at all.
Let me show you.
You can be a member of the Discord and sign up for the atno notifications, and every U.S. or Canadian atno that pops up in the POTA spots, you'll get a notification for.
That's right.
So, another reason why, if you do POTA, if you do POTA and you're not in the HRAG Discord, you're not really doing POTA. Even the Duke of Alabama uses the Discord.
Yeah, you could be on Discord getting all these atno spots. Get to know exactly when they spot. It's pretty awesome, guys.
Well, since it is shenanigans, I'm going to talk about these two clowns.
Uh-oh.
So, the other day, I'm in Lake Norman, one of my favorite parks to activate. And I am sitting there activating on 40 meters, 83 watts. And this clown comes up there ranting and raving that I am 10 wide. I am from, I don't know, I can't remember where I was, but let's say I think I was on 7275, but he said that I was from 7270 to 7280. And I was interrupting their net that was down 3.
You're splattering the whole band.
So I said, okay, I'll check my radio for you. QRZ, and I just went on. I knew good and well that I wasn't 10 watt. Listen, if I'm running 10 watt on 83 watts portable, I'm going to start selling secrets to my setup if you want to buy them. Because I'll tell you, it just don't work. But anyway, PP Man was in there when this guy was talking about all this stuff, and he scrolled down. And he scrolled down to where that guy said I was interrupting his net. And number one, I wasn't causing any interference down there. Maybe some of the hunters might have been bleeding over a little bit, but not much. But I wasn't causing any. And as far as his net, it was him and his buddy talking about changing his old lady's tire. Wait for it. And he ripped his toenail off and had to go to the ER, and they put his toenail back on for him.
What?
Now, no. I don't know how stupid you think your buddy is, but I'm going to tell you right now, when you go to the ER with your toenail or your fingernail ripped off, they don't put it back on.
I wonder when they put it back on if they match the color of paint that was already on it.
So then he proceeded to talk to his buddy about my activation. He said, "Oh, that's just one of them guys up there that's trying to get 1 million contacts so he can get a piece of paper. He's not even making real QSOs. He's just giving 5-9 signals."
That's funny.
And PP Man was telling me all this, and I was laughing so hard.
Oh my God.
I see. Now I wish I would have noted at the time, because when I'd wrapped up my activation, I'd have probably scrolled down and like, I might check into the rip my toenail off net.
Where can I donate for your new colored toenail polish so it'll match the other ones?
I mean, really, buddy, really, you ever? But yeah, 10 wide is what I run now, boys. So it's no wonder I get so many contacts. I just hear y'all all the way through the whole daggone spectrum.
Yeah, buddy.
People amaze me. So has anybody got any interesting DX this weekend?
I kind of stayed off the radio for the most part.
I've been on the radio, I've been doing POTA, so I've been staying off of 20. But I have tried to go over there a couple of times just to see if I could find a spot, and that's not happening because it's just absolute madhouse. But every time I turn the radio over to 20, whatever frequencies it's already on, they come through blaring. And today, first thing I hear is Delta Alpha 5, and I waited for them to finish, and I just threw out my call sign. All right, so I hit Germany and got a 5-9 into Germany, so I took it. There we go. Serbia on 10 meters.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good one.
Oh, you got Beijing. Very good.
I can take the I got the Beijing, but what is that other one?
Botswana.
I don't even know where that is, Chris. I guess they didn't educate me on that one. Or maybe that's somebody that's in war with the Minganese, and they just took them from the West Virginia history books.
When are you gonna spot down there in the Dry Tortugas? Let me get that part.
Hold on. Let me hook up FT8 real quick, and we can spot it right now.
No, I mean I have the part, but I figured you want a kilo there.
That's funny.
Botswana is in Africa, I think, somewhere. Southern Africa, maybe.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. Yeah, Chris says South Africa. Yeah.
Did they send you QSO cards with people with bones in their lips and stuff? If so,
I already have the. Good.
If so, I want to work them too because I want them cards.
I already have the entity on POTA, but a couple nights ago I heard South Korea over there on voice, and I could barely hear them here, like a 1 by 1, just really light. But I tried them for probably 30 minutes, and I hung it up after he was taking a whole bunch of Japan calls. They were probably blistering him like 20 over, and I said, "There ain't no way I'm gonna be able to get through to this guy." I got South Korea a while back on CW, so I already had the entity. I didn't have that park he was in, but I had the entity as a whole. But Beijing, Texas. Terry, you ain't right. You ain't right.
Yeah. So, speaking of Patreon visits, anybody who wants to go to West Virginia while the King's gone to check on it can stop by Terry's house, and he will put on his sheep hat and cook you dinner in nothing but the sheep hat.
Yeah, but apparently you're gonna have to get permission from Reed before you go up there because he's been stomping on your turf while you've been gone there.
Listen, it's okay if anybody wants to try to take over Chief Logan, they're welcome. They're welcome. I'll retire tomorrow, and I'll come back in about 10 years when you're still cussing at me, and you're within 40,000 of me. Let me go back to it.
That's what we should do, Eddie. Eddie, we should just go to West Virginia, and when he rolls back to his house in 6 months or however long it's going to take for him to get back home, we'll all be sitting in the driveway, leaning up against his antenna holder, saying, "Hey, man, what's up?"
There we go. That's some detective work too. If you were well, No, because you know what my vehicle looks like. You could probably do it fairly easy. But if it was just you didn't know what my vehicle looked like, and you were just trying to go by off of Google by QRZ, that would be interesting.
Well, it shouldn't be too hard. You just have to look for the yards that has the warning sign landmines in the front yard, right?
Yeah.
Snipers in the back 40. Yeah.
Look for the yard that's got holes where some landmines have done went off, and arms laying random places. And
that's a pretty good idea. On the Madhouse, Kilo Oscar. Let's get Kilo Oscar. Boy, I'm tired. Kilo Zero Oscar Tango Charlie said the Madhouse of the bands this weekend. He decided to go digital and activated on 6 new bands in his park. So that's awesome. Getting that N1CC.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I do have more plans with more Patreons for this upcoming tour, and I can't talk about them because the Patreons don't know about it. But it could happen. I could be like Ed McMahon and just show up at your door and give you the magic envelope. It's like you won a chance to give the king $1 million.
Oh, that is funny.
Oh, funny stuff. It's crazy too because I came down here because I wanted to go to the Central Carolina. Why do I do it? I do it every time. Every time I talk about this meetup, I say Central Carolina, the Central Florida POTA meetup, and then the night before I find out it's been canceled. So then the next day I'm out activating and I see a picture of people in Colt Creek Park, which is close to where it was, and it's a bunch of people, and I'm like, if they told me it's canceled and they just moved it, I'm going to be irate. And I commented on there, and it actually ended up being the Lakeland Amateur Radio Club was out at Colt Creek. So, but if I would have known that, I would have showed up to Colt Creek and activated there and met some people.
Kind of canceled it at the last minute, didn't they?
Yes, Disneyland is white. Well, I don't know if they did or not. I found out last minute. Disneyland is not while I'm here because if I want Disneyland, I'll just spot and Mickey Mouse will hunt me.
That's true. That's very true.
And speaking of that, we even have upped the new activator, into getting a good Mickey Mouse voice now. They were using Donald Duck, and now they can use Mickey Mouse. So we did pretty good. We did pretty good this weekend.
I got her last night. Thanks, Donald Duck.
Funny stuff. She got Robbie with Mickey Mouse today, so it worked pretty good. Even though she tried to kill Robbie, she tried to poison. She did try to poison Robbie. So you got to watch. You got to watch who you activate with. Some people try to poison you.
Oh, we're in trouble. She's listening.
Well, she is listening. Up.
Beetlejuice.
Yep. Sorry, Robbie. She'll take it out on you now.
Oh my God.
Diet forever.
If anybody in the chat can explain to me why Florida parks close at sunset, I'm all ears because it's ridiculous.
Yeah, please do, because it's really annoying. I mean, you can find like the state forest and stuff, and you can find an access road to get into them, and there's a few parks I can go here. I am planning, however, on doing a late shift, probably a late shift. It'll be after dark. From one that I've wanted to do ever since I've been coming down here, but I never have my Eagle One. And you pretty much got to have an antenna that's going to go off the car, or you can't use radials. You can't, which is going to make me even more compromised because I'm using a drive one. But I finally get to do the Skyway fishing pier, and I'm excited about that. That's going to be fun for me.
He's going to drive your car right up on the pier because that would be epic. Take a video.
Yeah. Well, with the people I drive around with, you never know. I have a special talent of picking great people to drive me around. That their roundabout skills are definitely not to the best.
They go roundabout forwards and backwards.
Yeah, forwards and backwards, 1 mile an hour and 70 mile an hour. It don't matter.
It's like the do-si-do. It's like a square dance.
Yeah, I would like. We should have sent we should have sent Terry. We should get Terry to come down and go to that park that we did the other night, and have him and Sherry do drifting races through that roundabout.
Yeah,
I mean Terry would be drifting backwards.
That'd be fun. Terry says, "Don't lose your drive on."
I still don't know what happened to that thing. It's probably with my CW key.
It's probably still sitting in a park somewhere, and people have been walking by it for months, going, "What the heck is this?"
Is that a landmine?
Yeah.
Is that an air pipe to a coal mine? No, it definitely was not in the park at the last place that I remember seeing it. So, but now, as far as my CW key, I don't remember where the last place I seen it is.
You really don't need it. Just bring your Eagle One, extend it all the way out. Just have Sherry stand on the roof of the car and hold it. Just run your radials out.
Yeah, but then when she does one of the epic falls, with the Olympic twist and stuff,
yeah,
that Eagle One's going to be in rough shape.
The triple sow cow.
Yeah.
The triple Lutz.
Yeah. You'll have to ask her about her football playing game, Dan. Yeah.
I see in our future we're going to have another YL stream. Just let them take over.
Oh Lord, who we gonna get? Sherry and Terry.
Everybody.
Since they went to the same driving school, Terry says.
Oh my God.
Look there, her Pitta family. I think that's her pedophile family. That must be Terry she's talking about.
No, that's her pain in the ass family is what she means. Yeah, that's true. We are.
Oh
my goodness. Now we had a lot of fun. So
yeah. So here's the thing. So for those of you who have been hunting us while we've been gone, just know that maybe starting tomorrow, when we're activating during the days, you'll see her spotting. And don't expect to be two of us. There will be but two people there because I'll be waiting my turn. But we're going to start her doing some, by herself activations and getting her used to it. And so, you do not email me when your logs do not get turned in. All hate mail will be directed towards her QRZ page, not mine. And then I will spot afterwards and have your logs in a timely manner. You're correct. You're correct, logs.
That's right. November lover.
Listen, Terry and PP Man's going to reach out to her after the stream and say, "We've got a new jester." the jester from the other brother or the other mother. Oh, by the way, if my camera sucks today, I'm sorry because I don't have my good camera. One thing, I always got to forget something when I'm leaving for a trip, and I don't have my good camera, and I couldn't get this camera to work well with OBS, so that's why if I do this, I disappear.
You're down there enough. You should just have a second studio.
Well, I kind of do. Like the green screen that's behind me, it was in the box. I had to cut it open, Mom had it taped up and stuff, so I do have my own green screen here, and I'm working on it. I'm working on the second studio. I need a second ham shack down here. Is what I need. I'll tell you what.
You ain't gonna hunt.
If I was going to shut up, No, but I could actually fly down here and just pick up the stuff and go out the door with it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm meant to bring an extra battery box down here and leave it, and of course I didn't do that either. But it happens.
How do you bring it down in February?
If I drive down in February, I don't know how I'm getting here in February yet.
You're not taking a damn train. We've already discussed this because every train you get on, you derail the damn thing.
Listen, there is 3 choices. There is drive, there is train, and there is donkey.
Well,
now, unless you're going to be on the front of the donkey holding the carrot to get that motherfucker to move down here,
it's not going to be train. So
right.
You're left with drive.
So Dan is starting a GoFundMe account for the King's new chariot, and yeah, donkey. I'm talking about Terry.
Donkey. That's a good move. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, donkey.
I think while I'm here, I want to do DeSoto again. That activation was a classic activation for me. I think I want to do that one again.
DeSoto, yeah.
I would say if there's any parks you guys want me to get, let me know. But then Toby's going to give me her short list. And her short list is very short. It really is. 2 of them's in the middle of the water. And then 2 of them is possibly for me to get. So I do plan on trying to get those 2 for Toby while I'm here. But the other 2, I don't see me getting. You know, unless Terry wants to come down and let me surf on his back.
You didn't bring your floaties?
No, I left them for Terry. He wanted to run the Elk River Trail from the river. So
there you go. Terry wants a shirt that says "I'm with stupid."
So I will be on the lookout for the shirt that says "I'm with Terry," and I'll bring.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about doing a meme too. Just has Terry has my notification tone go off, and then all of a sudden just has Terry pop up and say, "Did he say I'm your Uncle Terry?"
I'm your Uncle Terry.
That's how Terry got kicked out of the grade school parking lot. You know, he tried to tell him. He said, "I was watching Tombstone, sir. You were saying I'm your Uncle Terry."
Oh, jeez.
Oh, funny stuff.
You smell different when you're awake.
Oh. Speaking of shirts, the H-Rag store is getting ready to have some new stuff show up, and it ain't gonna be new shirts either. It's very close to getting some cool new stuff. So be on the lookout for that. And also, if you're a Patreon, hopefully you paid attention to the contest the other night for a chance to win some cool stuff. If you didn't, all y'all is probably going to the Patreon like, what did I miss? Why don't I read this stuff? But anyway.
Hey, that's a good idea, man. A beer glass. Hey. Maybe even like a rocks glass, too, also.
That would be probably a good idea.
Like etched on the side of it, you know?
That's not a green screen, Mike. I'm in my driveway.
Yeah.
Are you just now showing up, PP Man?
Well, it takes him a while to get the notification. It's QRP, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, I know what it was. He's been in the chat for like the whole stream, and he's been yelling QRP, and it's just now coming through, and we can hear him.
Yeah. This internet is slow.
He was eating dinner. Sounds like a classic PP Man excuse, a.k.a. I took a bottle and stuck it
So I guess there's not a park near you that you can do late shift at because they all close at 5 o'clock, right?
There is, and it is possible that I go down there. It just depends. No, it's not the greatest place I like to activate. It's really noisy. There's power lines there, and it's a twofer actually. There's power lines there, and it's right dead beside the road. And I can go further over. When I normally activate it, I go further over into it, but I'm not going further over into those woods at night because they do have big kitties down here.
Yeah.
And actually the other day when I was there, they have nice poisonous coral snakes running around. Literally. So I had a blanket on the ground with all the gear on it, and right by the blanket goes Mr. Coral Snake. And I'm like, cool.
So how fast did you jump up?
Huh?
I said, how fast did you jump up off the blanket?
I didn't. I just knocked Sherry over
there. Go take care of that.
Send her get well cards courteous of buy me a coffee for PZN.
That's hilarious.
So it's quite funny. She's actually probably did more activations in the last 4 days than she's done her whole career. So picked up 1, 2, 3 new states because we did not end up getting Georgia or Virginia, and Virginia because we didn't leave in time, and Georgia because I thought I was originally running late for the the Patreon meetup, and then Eddie's like, "Yeah, we'll be there at 6." And the original time was 5, and I was like, "Oh, well, cool. That means I can go waste time in Buc-ee's and buy fudge."
On your way back up, you can go hit Jekyll.
I love.
Jekyll. It's one of your favorite parks. Yeah,
I do love Jekyll. It's not even a great park. But the thing is, if I'm going up and hitting Jekyll, I want to hit it right at late shift because I like it as the sun setting over the ocean.
Yep.
And it's special memory because it's my first late shift ever. Which is funny. My first late shift ever is in Georgia.
It's actually better sunrise at Jekyll, to be honest with you.
Okay.
It looks really cool. You just happen to be on that side of the states.
I don't know. It was you can actually, I'm sure if you search Ham Radio Adventure Guy, you can see the picture I took with the sailboat in the background. And it's actually maybe one of the best pictures I've ever taken. And I literally was activating, just reached down, grabbed the phone, held it up and snapped it. And that's what I got. So, I mean, that's the kind of beauty you see.
Sometimes the best pictures are like that too. Just something real quick. I got to take a picture of it. Boom. And then days later, you go back and look at it and go, damn, that's a nice picture. Yeah, Jekyll's beautiful. Is St. Simon's a park? It's close. Same. I'm not sure if St. Simon's is a park. I have to look.
I don't know. We'll see on the way back because there's multiple Patreons. That everybody knows I'm out on the Patreon tour, and there's multiple Patreons throwing. Hey, if you decide that you want to come back this way, hey, if you and throwing us, and of course every one of them is out of the way. So it really just depends on what time we leave, what day we leave, and because she definitely has to be back to work Monday. And there's nothing I can do about that. So it just depends. But there's a couple of different options on ways that I might be going back instead of on the way down. So we'll see. You'll see. Although, like I said, the Patreon tour won't stop there when I get back home because I know in about 2 weeks, I believe it is, after I get back, I have another one planned. And it's quite funny because I will get to see my only Nevada Patreon in that trip. And no, I'm not. And no, I'm not going to Nevada. I'm just leaving it at that. So. When am I coming to Michigan? PP man.
Here we go.
First off, if I come to Michigan, we're going out to POTA with an amplifier.
A big one.
And you're going to do a 500 watt. We'll stick for 500 watts. You're going to do a 500 watt activation. And you're going to run the mic and the log. And I'm going to sit there. We're spotting with my call sign, and I'm going to sit there. And then you'll be like, when you're done, you're going to be crying, and you're going to say, "This is why I do QRP." And then we're going to make it a shirt. I don't know. Believe it or not, I do have Michigan in my future. So
I think you should activate all of Michigan before you do.
Terry wants to know if anyone's giving out Reese cups for Halloween. So maybe. Uh-oh.
That's right.
It don't show. It don't show. It don't show. Terry, if you'll
haven't eaten those yet?
If you'll come, no, because I had to refreeze them.
Yeah.
They melted.
Yeah.
So, Terry, if you will come trick-or-treating to my mom's house Halloween night, I will make sure you get some Reese cups.
Terry, I'll pick you up on the way.
You'll pick him up on your way. Okay, that's it. I'd be sounding like some Kilo Bravo 3 Whiskey Alpha Victor way to come down here.
Yeah. I got to go to West Virginia to get to Florida. It's just the way you go.
Crying like a schoolgirl. That's right, Mike. Crying like a schoolgirl. That's why Mike don't eat regular Reese cups, because he don't like the skirts on them. He gets the Reese Cup Schoolgirl edition.
No, Mike said he's still eating the Reese Cup that I gave him last time he came down here. I think I gave him probably like, I don't know, a dozen or something like that. It was a lot. Dozen packs. Yeah.
So you know, in you know, when Dan and Robbie and Eddie showed up the other night, they did get to try the brand new flavor of the King's peanut butter.
That's true.
And you know,
it was very very tasty.
You know, I think Eddie liked it the best because he ate several sums of it.
Several sums.
I don't know how else to put it.
Oh, hey, Mom. Hey, Mom, I see you. You're in the chat finally. Thank you. Yes, you were first, always.
Oh, and I think Kyle is going to activate with me in the morning. Which park in Tampa did you want to meet at in the morning, Kyle? Just throw a shout out. Which park you want me to meet you at in Tampa?
He said it doesn't matter. Just shoot him a message and he'll meet you.
Okay. And about 8 o'clock, fine with you, Kyle? Sounds good to me. All right, good. 8 o'clock in Tampa. Me and Kyle's going to activate tomorrow.
Yeah.
And if you don't get Kyle in your log, everybody please send him some hate mail, because I'll be saying both operators, and if he don't turn in that log, you know, you send all that hate mail to him.
That's right. How did you fare on the contest there, Kyle? I know you were working it.
Hey, speaking of brisket, Eddie, I did have some today, and it was good. It wasn't Eddie quality, but it was good. So I'm happy.
I had some the other day too.
I had some brisket, and I had some cornbread with almond butter. Is it almond butter? Almond pecan butter, and it was sweet cornbread, and yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. That stuff was like dessert.
Good Lord.
Okay, Kyle wants to do one of the K6 number part. Okay, we can do that. We'll run FT8.
Activate anything from anywhere. It's like Visa, FT8. It's anywhere you want to be.
Kyle don't realize that the K in the Parks in the Air, the K dash, that stands for King. So whatever number I want to give it, Kyle, we can do that.
That's right.
We can work a red fire ant heel if you want, and you can sit right on top.
It's trying to be funny, but winter is coming, and I can't wait. 80 and 160 are going to be lit.
Well, I'm glad you can't wait for winter because you're a hunter and you set your little butt in the house and with your heater and you're like, oh, PCON's on. Let me get my amp fired up and get more heat in my house. And
you got to remember too, winter here is not winter like it is in the West by God. Winter here is you might have a week or so down in the teens and the 20s. You know, I mean, it's not like wear a t-shirt and shorts kind of weather, but you can go out in a jacket and a pair of blue jeans and still be semi-comfortable.
It was actually kind of funny because I got hunted today from Naples, and he said, James, you're here a little early for amplification this year, ain't you? I said, no, I'm just here for short time. I'll be back in February for that.
You should have messed with them good. I thought they moved it to November.
I was like, what are you talking about? The show was this weekend. Did you not get to come?
Oh, here comes PP saying we don't know winter, which is true. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. I mean, but you're already complaining that it's too cold to activate out there, Mike.
Listen,
already,
it's too cold in the summer for him to activate because his radio don't put off no heat. I mean, it's barely using any power. So
that's a good point. When it gets really cold, I can just fire up the 6100. I can run digital for about 5 minutes and then just hold the radio in my hands. It's a good hand warmer. That thing gets so damn hot.
So does the 6100 do that too? I know that the G90, the G90 gets outrageously hot.
It is crazy.
And I don't even know about digital. That's from sideband, but you know,
they're like, oh, it's normal. Like, okay.
My sideband and other people's sideband's a different beast. Although I will say PP Man is probably the only person that I know that's done a POTA activation and his radio shut off from the heat. And he probably only got 10 contacts at that. So yeah, he kind of did do that. He was a victim of that Toby short list. We love you, Toby.
Oh, that's the one he drove like on a levee to a park or something.
Yeah, and then he had to hike in. And then his radio was literally sitting there in the sun beating down on. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, I think he got his 10th contact and the radio went shut off from heat.
Well, at least you got his 10. If you got 9, that'd have been bad.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter if PP Man failed. He's a failure. He runs QRP anyway. He knows that.
Just put the radio back in the RV and turn the AC on, then go back out and get one more contact.
I'm going to say the RV wasn't in the park, and and
I'd have to walk back. Yeah,
he would have had to have ran a FT8 from the RV then if he was going to do that. Not that he's above that. There you go. He said that alligator was looking up at him thinking he was lunch. Probably because, when people come walking down that road, they normally come walking down that road to die, PP Man. Oh, funny stuff.
Yeah, the solid state doesn't dissipate heat like the tubes do. Mine's sitting just idle at the PA temperature is 104 Fahrenheit. So if you leave it on like all day, it'll definitely help heat your room up for sure.
Anyway, I think it's either tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll be around the Tampa area doing some activations. Wednesday, I'll have to be closer back here because I'll have to stream. So Wednesday will probably be the 2 for run. So
I thought you were gonna stream on Wednesday from the Dry Tortugas.
Well, let me see if I can find a Dry Tortuga backdrop to put back there, and
there you go.
We'll run FT8 while we're on stream, and I'll have to. I'll run as a K8 truck, and that'll be my new club sign.
Yeah,
and we'll get about 96,000 QSOs in about an hour stream.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
We could do that. Or no, wait a minute. Or I could just do 13 QSOs, because that makes a lot of sense to pay all that money to go out to the Dry Tortuga and run 13 FT8 QSOs too, don't it? Yeah.
So the times that I've gotten that part, it's been somebody Maritime Mobile that are anchored near it. So.
Yep, and there is a spot that you can anchor near it that is considered part of it.
Oh, it's a really big activation area when you get out in the water, actually. So. Yeah.
Anyway, all right, Dan, what you got coming up?
Not a lot, man. Work next week like normal. Work. Getting our busy season at work, if you will. So. Hunt when I can.
All right. As for me, I'll be activating tomorrow, the next day, the next day, and until I decide that I no longer like you guys. So you're pushing it close now, but anyway, no kidding. I love you guys. Anyway, I'll be streaming on Wednesday night, and Thursday will be a video drop. And if you guys know anything about my channel, you probably already know what I'm dropping Thursday. But other than that, if you're a Patreon and you think that you might possibly show up on this tour, just be ready, because it could happen. Thank you guys very much. Thanks for the donations, and we'll catch you on the air. 73, everybody.
73, go.